All right, everyone, and welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started here. So welcome to Exit Strategy Realty's first ever career night. Believe it or not, in a little over a decade, we have never done a career night before. We've done a ton of training, coaching, parties, events, but never something specifically for agents new to the business or people that are not even yet real estate agents. So there's probably going to be a lot of questions tonight. Instead of going through this boring PowerPoint that some of you guys had to be in the room, those of you guys that are already at Exit, you had to sit there in a room with me and listen to me talk and sit there and flip through some slides or whatever. We will not do that to you tonight. But I do want to kind of talk a little bit more about the industry and actually have just more of an open conversation about the industry. Zeke, as you guys may or may not know, is a tremendous leader in the industry. This is his building. He and I have done a lot of work together and separately over the years about real estate agent empowerment, getting you guys into a better place as an industry. He's done a huge amount of work. I can't say enough about this man. Now is your treasurer, not even treasurer-elect anymore, you're treasurer of the Illinois Association of Realtors. So he is with Exit, having merged in his own real estate company because he saw the vision of what is to come with us and what it actually has already been happening. And so he's going to have some words for you later as well. But to start us off, because a lot of you guys are new to the business or not even in the business yet, I'll take you back about 21 years ago. Since it is Thursday, we'll do a throwback Thursday for a second and tell you about my business. I was 20 years old when I got into the business. What I liked about the idea of real estate was that you set your own schedule. Little did I know that that would mean I would work 7 days a week. As Cassandra knows better than almost anybody here if you follow her on social media. But I knew that I could make unlimited income. And that is still the case today, 21 years later. What I love about real estate is that there's no ceiling. There's absolutely no ceiling. You can make $1 million plus a year. There's our top agent in our office will make well over $500,000 this year. So you look at it and you say, wow, that's incredible. I want to be in on that. So I jumped right in. What I did not realize is that along with no ceiling, there was a very hard floor, which was $0.00, which is how much you can make in real estate if you do not do the right activities. So when I started 21 years ago, I started one of the big box firms. I'm hopefully tonight not going to mention the name of a single other firm. That is my goal. If it slips out, kick me. But I was at a big box company and they were very nice. My first managing broker was absolutely incredible as a person. But what I figured out very quickly was no matter how nice that big old school firm was, that no matter how many years that brand name had been out there, that they were not giving me any leads. They were not giving me any business. So why was I only keeping 50% of my hard-earned commission when I did get one? So my first lesson in the business was that it's not the company you go to, it's what you do at that company. And so, I'm absolutely talking about Exit, but I'm going to talk a lot more about what activities you need to be doing in real estate. And so I got my base there. I realized that a big old school company can give you the basic stuff, the big ticket items of here's what you need to do to succeed. But a lot of companies are also going to really kind of filter that through. Well, you're doing that because you're here. Because you're at this company, that's why your phone's ringing. And when you take it away at the end of the day, some of my best years was actually when I was independent before I came to Exit. And then obviously since then I've really, even doubled and tripled some of that production. But what I didn't realize was that it was all on me. And so you guys about to think about doing this, it's all on you. So what you need to be doing is not worrying about what the name of the company is or how long the company's been around. Make sure it's legit. But what you need to be doing is figuring out where will you find out and discover what you need to know to make your phone ring the best and the most. Because this business is not, unfortunately, I wish it was more customer service and client service. It's about that. But the best agents in the business have mastered more than anything else how to make their phone ring. So that was my passion when I left the big box companies, was I was like, well, I have figured out how to make my phone ring. I don't need these people anymore. I'm gonna go do my own thing. And I started just like Zeke started his own company. I started my own company. I was very creative with the name. I called it Nick Libert Properties. Okay. So had a big name, nameplate above my door. All my signs had my signature on them. I thought I was cool. So I kept 100% of my commission. So I went to the opposite end of the industry, from the big box, old school companies, to doing my own thing. And if you drive up and down any major street in Chicago, so I'm here on Cottage Grove, north on North Avenue, where our North Side office is, you will see mom and pop shops everywhere. Nothing wrong with them either, just like the big box companies. But they have their own problems too. And the problem is, there's probably not a lot of training at all. There's not a lot of support. There's certainly not a lot of technology. There's not a lot of masterminding, because it's small, it's independent. And almost every single broker owner is like me and Zeke in these small independents. We're running around trying to pay for the roof, pay for the building, pay for the one or two people that are on staff. They don't have time to be with every single one of their agents when they hire them, and quite frankly, do they even know why they're successful? So when I went out and went on my own and independent, I figured out that, well, I thought I knew what made my phone ring, but I really wasn't even there yet either. So eventually, after about a decade in the business, I was really realizing that I needed structure. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to go back to these franchises again. I don't wanna pay a lot of money to be there. I know that it's not gonna be them that make my phone ring. I have to do it myself. So what I'm really looking for is technology. I'm looking for training / coaching. I'm looking for a little bit of branding, because I want something from them, but I'm looking for a mastermind. And I'm also looking for a place that will pay me when I help the company grow. Because if I'm gonna go give up my own company, the same way that Zeke and I both had to sit there and think about that a long time. Because by the way, when I first came to Exit, I did not own the office. I came as an agent. I came back to work for someone else, because I felt that strongly that I figured out I had to really get back to learning the business. And so I wanted, though, to be at a company where, you know, if I help the company grow, I want to feel like I still have a little brokerage within a brokerage. And more than that, even though, you know, right now it's like I just want to focus on being an agent, I'm always looking at it from the 360 degree or the bird's eye view, that you would have to be the meanest real estate agent alive to not at some point want to mentor or trip into the opportunity to mentor other people or even be in a mastermind with people. And so if you're gonna do that the same way that I've been doing for, I'd say 17 of the 21 years I've been in business, why not get compensated for that? And there's only 3 companies that are nationwide that do that. And how they do that, I'm gonna say it without tripping up and saying anybody else's name, I think, is that there are 2 different models. Actually, there's kind of 3. One is a residual based model. That's our model. And the philosophy behind that is that I just want, if I say to someone, hey, you know what, let's work at the same firm, I really like this idea that Exit's got going on, come over here, maybe I'll help you out a little bit, mentor you, be your friend, whatever you wanna call it, building a relationship, extending a hand, we're gonna give you a 10% residual bonus when you help that person out, they join Exit, and they sell a property. And that 10% goes on forever. It's up to $10,000 a year per person. And I have to tell you, that is for me now a 6-figure income. A couple of the ladies in the room and Charles as well may have seen, and maybe even Zeke, I know he was busy getting this set up with me tonight, may have seen I posted in our private office Facebook group, I said, hey, you know what, thinking about doing some like wine night Fridays, a little book club at my house, that, you know, who wants to come over? That house was paid for by Exit Realty residuals. Wow. And that means a lot to me, because when I came to this company, I had next to nothing. And so for you guys being new, it's gonna sound so crazy that I'm already talking about building a team or mentoring people, things like that. But why I wanna bring it up at Career Night is this is the only company that does that 10% residual bonus. And it is meant for a lot of us a life-changing experience. So there are other 2 companies out there that do something. One does a profit sharing system, very nice. Zeke and I are both at that company. A couple other people in the room were at that, actually several of us were at that company. Very nice company, nothing wrong with it. There's very few companies out there that are nationwide that are terrible. Yeah. But I was at a company that, you know, it's not only about the people you bring on board there, but it's also like you gotta build a tree and you gotta have a downline and that kind of stuff. And multi-level marketing, there's nothing wrong with it. But I'm here to sell real estate, maybe mentor people directly that I see. And also, I wanna know exactly how much I'm going to make, and I want it substantial. That 10% to me meant a lot more than the potential of the future of maybe people 3, 4, 5 steps beneath me in a tree. Because what the bottom line is with a lot of those trees is that not everybody's as effective a recruiter or in a motivator. What do they call that now, an influencer?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of us that were really good at building our part ended up with a shrub. It's wide, but it's not deep. Because the Pareto principle, which some of us know, says that 80% of the business is done by 20% of the people.
Right.
Same way with building downlines and that kind of stuff. And there's another model out there that compensates a little bit. They're a virtual company. My philosophy is, yes, I can work in the cloud, I can't live in the cloud. And the way that I run our real estate brokerage, and that Zeke believes, and that Marky, some of you guys know Marky Lemons, that's our director of education, what she believes is, this is a family. And so there are gonna be needs where you have to be in an office setting. You have to be in a classroom like this. And you wanna be able to see the people that you're working with and for regularly. So the next thing I'm gonna tell you has nothing to do with downlines and trees and building teams. It's straight up what you need to do, period, as an agent, just for you. So let's go back to just for you for a second. And this was another big reason why I came to Exit, was because of the training and coaching. I feel it is extremely important that you guys understand up front, not only that it is all about what you do, but it's also who you know. It's your network does what? It's your net worth. And that is in real estate truer than almost any other business. So if you are not at a company that's gonna sit there and every week have things like Power Hour, 411 accountability and goal setting, lead trackers, greatness trackers, all the stuff that we have here that is unique, even within Exit, to our office, because of the way that we have set it up, that is what's going to make you succeed. You can sit there at another company and get a training course for 2 weeks, and then it ends. And what I found out was, in the company that I started with, it was very nice training. Then you actually have to implement. And very few people implement. So what we really look at in the local association of realtors, and it's pretty much nationwide, it's not really 80-20. It's closer to a 90-10. 90% of the business is being done by 10% of the people. That's scary to me. That's scary to a lot of people that are looking to help you guys grow, going, wow, what is the stat? 1 in 14 people make it past their first year of real estate? That statistic sickens me. That makes me mad. So when I get up in the morning, and these guys that are already at Exit know, you get an email from me every morning. And now if you're in our WhatsApp group, you get a message from me. If you are anywhere conscious at all at our office, you know we've got a blog that I write in almost every day. You have YouTube videos everywhere. Some of them you can find on the public site if you want to see them, know what we're all about. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are unlisted because they are directly between me and the agents in this room. So my passion is to make sure you not only get past your first year, but you kick butt in your first year, and the second year, and the third year. And then as you do grow as an agent, we are the company where you're gonna say, hey, it's time for me to build a team. I can help you build that team. I can also then show you with the Exit Realty Residual System, you're gonna make money and help those people grow at the same time. And even after they leave their team, your team, as long as they're staying at Exit, you're still getting a check. It's the only company that works that way and consistently with the 10% residual bonus. So the passion that we have for making sure you guys win. If you don't already know Marky, you gotta add Marky on all your social media. That lady is a font of knowledge. The people that are in this room already, it's not that we are the most amazingly nice people on the face of the earth. I like to think that we're pretty darn good, but the Exit Realty Residual Bonus System has helped them realize that they have almost an obligation to share. Because it's gonna help them, it's gonna help you, and that's the circle of life in this business. And speaking of the circle of life in this business, where I have found that we are going to really win moving forward is the word value. Zeke and I were talking about that, Charles and I were talking about that earlier. It is all about value. There are plenty of realtors. Dare I say, even before you guys get your license, there are too many realtors. And not enough are doing the right stuff. And they're not providing value. So when I sat there looking into our 10th anniversary, knowing that October 29th of this year, a couple weeks ago, that was our 10th anniversary, I'm sitting there going, we have sold a lot of real estate. Almost $1.5 billion worth of real estate at this point. We have generated almost $3 million. It's over $2.7 million now in residual bonuses our office has done that have gone back to agents and associates. That is a lot of money. But what are we doing to bring value to the community? And so that's when I took a step and I said, okay, what we need to work on is what we do for the community moving forward. It's not about the numbers. It's about who is the most powerfully impactful real estate brokerage out there. And so what we do is we do monthly events, and they're in 4 focus areas. Obviously, real estate. We are a real estate brokerage, first and foremost. A real estate brokerage. So we're gonna educate the community about real estate. We don't sell used cars here. We sell real estate that hopefully will turn around and appreciate and bring people value, but also bring people the opportunity to give a legacy to their family, to everybody else around them in their community. So real estate, we teach about that, but there's 3 other focus areas. There's 4 total. Second one, personal finance, not just real estate. People have got to get their credit together. They've got to start saving better. They've got so much stuff going on with debt. We don't want to just talk to you about real estate. Buy with me, sell with me, buy with me, sell with me. That script is tired. Anybody can do it. There's 1.4 million realtors, see, out there. Everybody can say that, buy with me, sell with me. How about I'm gonna provide value to you beyond just buy with me, sell with me. That's part of it. But we're gonna talk to you about personal finance. In January, we're doing our next big event. We're doing a training on how to, as a seller or an owner of property, appeal your property taxes. Because, wow, they are a mess, especially after this last reassessment. That's the kind of value that we give monthly, consistently. We turn around then and after personal finance, we say, you know what else is going on in people's world? Health. Health. We wanna make sure that you guys have the right activities going on, you're eating the right food, so we do a lot of that as well. So we have climbed the stairs at Swallow Cliff. We have had several Barry's boot camp classes, because some of you guys already know me, that's my favorite. We've done yoga, we have done all different kinds of things. We've got marathon runners in our office. That is the type of stuff we want to turn around and share with the community. And we've been doing these events not only for our agents, but for the community. And the last thing, speaking of community, is doing stuff right around your own organization, your own home, with charity. So we have done a lot of great stuff over the last decade, but really more and more consistently the last years, we focus in on our vision that we've got to bring value to our community. It's not just education. It's doing stuff like the coat drive we're doing right now. Cassandra, actually, it's right in the room, has got stuff set up for gloves and mittens. We're doing stuff with the Lakeview, the pantry this year. We're doing all kinds of different activities. We're doing a toy drive with DS Tequila, which is a fun bar restaurant in my neighborhood. There's always something that is going on that you can engage with in the community. But if you are, as a new agent, not in an office environment that teaches that, but not only teaches it, but what did we talk about earlier? Implements that. And does it regularly and consistently on a calendar that people can show you. If you guys are out there talking to other real estate brokerages, ask to see their training calendar. Because everybody talks about training. Ask them to see it. If you would like to schedule time with me as an agent in our office, it is simple as texting me or going online and scheduling on my website, because literally some of you in this room use that every week to talk to me. A lot of brokerages, it's tough to get a hold of the broker, it's tough to get a hold of the owner. You're talking to the owner, you're looking at him. This is a non-publicly traded company. Exit has about 600 offices across the US and Canada. We are normally one of the biggest in production every month. But that doesn't mean that we are a publicly traded company. It's a privately owned company at the corporate level as a franchise, and you are talking to the owner right here. So if you have a problem, you can always come to me. Every single person in this office has my cell phone number, has the opportunity to talk to anybody on our staff. Our longest running staff person's been there 8.5 years. Our bookkeeper's been there, business manager has been there, I think almost 5 now. It prides me to say that both of them, their daughters work at our company as agents. One is an agent and the other one as another executive assistant. And these people, a lot of our agents have been around us for a long, long time. 3 years, 5 years, 8 years. My original agent, when I left the big box companies and walked out and started my own brokerage, still works for me to this day. Suman Saha, been there, we don't even know how many years now. I think it was 2004. Mm-hmm. So 15 years. That is the type of operation you're gonna be dealing with. We will bounce in a little bit into, after we do our Facebook Live, the numbers, but I will share this much with you. My vision with everyone is that you come here, you get all the training education you need, all the technology you need, and that there is no fee to be at our office except when you close the deal. And let me explain that. It is, every real estate brokerage, you're gonna have to be a member of the Chicago Association of Realtors, or there's a couple other local boards that are around. Zeke and I obviously, both are very involved with CAR. We're a member of several boards. But beyond that, every office is gonna kind of come to you and go, okay, well, we need some money. We want money. Exit's a franchise, so corporate looks for $375 a year from you. That's the pleasure of being at Exit. I give you a lot of value for that. I'm looking for $0 and 0 cents from you. I have never charged a fee, not a penny, nothing. So my whole focus with our office is to get you into production. If you're already in production, to build your production. Because there's only two issues in the real estate industry for realtors. Number one, the biggest one, my phone's not ringing up. I don't have enough leads. So we talk about what, guys? Lead generation, all constantly, every day. Lead conversion along with that. That's the first thing. I don't have enough leads. But then for the top agents, and this is the fun thing I coach on, I love when this conversation comes up, I have too many leads. Now there's no such thing as too many leads, but I have so many leads, I'm having a problem effectively servicing them, doing the best possible job I can, and that's when we talk about building a team for you. So where do we get all this information and this education from for you guys? We get it from a couple different sources. Obviously, Exit has a lot of wonderful training, coaching, a lot of mentors out there, but who I specifically have honed my skills with in my own sales business, because I'm still an active agent. I'm an active agent, I'm an investor, I'm out there with you guys every day. So not necessarily during the day, but nights and weekends, because I'm in the office during the day. I have two big coaches. Number one, Brian Buffini. Do you guys know Brian Buffini or any of his programs? Amazing human being. I am a certified trainer with them. And then also, the second program is called CORE. CORE completely changed my life. CORE training, a couple of you guys already know what that is. That's where we talk about the greatness tracker, the lead tracker, profit and loss statements. Most real estate agents don't know what they made last year, if you can believe that. They can tell you what their volume was. They may be able to tell you what they grossed. They have no idea what they netted after expenses. That is another huge issue in our industry. Another big issue in our industry that you're gonna wanna be aware of on the way in, yes, you can make a lot of money, or you can make none at all. Hopefully somewhere in between and towards the top end of that, but you also have no health insurance as an industry. You are a 1099 independent contractor. So you don't have health insurance, and you also don't have what? Retirement benefits. So we're hoping with the residual bonus system, over time as you become a mentor and you build a reputation and you're excited about Exit, and you help us grow, that you will replace the lack of retirement income with these residuals. And don't just spend them like I did the first couple of years I was at Exit. I can tell you about that's a whole other thing we will discuss on Facebook Live, and we will have some fun with that. But I hope that you will buy real estate. I hope that you will do a SEP IRA. I hope you do all the stuff that I didn't do the first decade I was in this business, because I did so much dumb stuff. And so that's the type of thing that we will discuss at our office, in our Investors Club, in our Money Mondays, and those type of conversations. So you have not read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, please read that. Because what you will realize is that you are now starting your own business. You may say you're gonna put it at Exit, you may say you're gonna put it at a big box company or a small mom and pop shop, but you are starting your own business. And what you do every morning means that you have to get up and you have to promote that business. No one's gonna come to your storefront if you don't talk about it. And that's what we're gonna get in a conversation with you every day. But we're gonna talk a lot about how also you, once you do get that storefront up and running, how you can make that storefront the most profitable. The other thing with finances is that in addition to having no fees at our office, I've never lowered a split. Been there a decade. I owned it a decade. Never lowered a split. When you come in as a new agent, you come in at a 70-30 split with us. 70% to you, because you did the majority of the work. 30% to us. After your first 20 sales at our office, whether that takes you 2 weeks or 2 years or 15 years, you will go to an 80% base split. Because guess what? I'm not having to show you how to turn on the MLS, not having to show you how to fill out a contract as much. After your first 20 sales, you get a permanent proficiency raise to 80% base split at our office of Exit. That's unique to us. Any year that you hit 100,000 gross commission income, because everybody's always bragging about, oh, I'm a 6-figure income earner. By the time you pay us, pay taxes, everything else, that's not that much money. For those of you guys who are sitting there seeing that, oh, you know, a couple of us have nice coats and nice cars, I gotta tell you, sometimes that is not all that's there. Because $100,000 in real estate is not the same thing as $100,000 in your W-2. So I wanna reward you guys when you hit $100,000 in gross commission income. So every year you do that, when you hit that amount, you go to 100% commission for the rest of the year. And the math that really got me to exit was that on top of that, those 10% bonuses, if you're doing this right, and you sit there and you like the place and you spread the word and be a little nice and be a mentor to people, you're getting 10% of this person, 10% of this person. It's coming out of the company's cut, not out of the agent's cut. I gotta tell you, I was at well over 100% very quickly at this company. And I was able to pay down debt when the real estate market crashed. I was able to pay my bills, quite frankly, first. Ended up being able to afford a house that I don't now owe anything on. The residual bonus system was what made exit such an incredible thing for me. But the bottom line is you gotta be selling real estate, period, in order to stay in this business. So we can talk all day about splits, but 100% of nothing is nothing. So what I'd like to do is, after we turn off this Facebook Live, discuss with you guys what specific questions you have about training, coaching, database, building networks, all that good stuff that we talk about in our coaching program, but I wanna hear what questions you've got. So if you guys are online, or you're watching this video later, please contact us. We'll talk to you more. For you guys in the classroom, Q&A starts now.